I was once an abuser. I hurt her. She had a great smile. She smiled all the time. It was brighter than the sun, lighter than a feather. When she smiled, the world smiled back at her. But now, her smile seems so fake. It's just an outer shell. It protects her from showing her pain. And I'm the only one who knows the truth. She was so carefree, so confident, so happy. Not a care in the world. She didn't care what others say because she knew looks weren't everything. Well, that was before I came along. I didn't mean to hurt her. I was just trying to help her. We talked about her flaws and how to fix them. And since then, her light dimmed. She became a self-hating monster. As time went on, my angelic flower died slowly. She began to hurt herself, and I did nothing. She began to starve herself, and I encouraged her to continue. She hated herself, and I just ignored it. I was once an abuser. I hurt her. That hurt was me. Now, with poetry, that was one of my main inspirations to choose self acceptance as my topic. The poem that I shared last year on the Poetry Slam was the spark and was the reason why. I used poetry to express myself and how I felt at that moment. But it's not only poetry, it was, negative body image and the way I feel about myself is, has affected me and people that I love dearly. When I was young, well, you can see I have curly hair and I have brown eyes, and all my friends, were straight hair, colored eyes, and I was just like, why does everyone else have different things than I do? Why do I look it this way? And I remember like 2 years ago, my cousin, when she was 5, she came up to me and she was like, I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat because I'm ugly, because I'm fat. Imagine a 5-year-old saying that. That broke my heart. And by sharing my stories and stories about people that I love, and I using my passions to show other students that it's okay how you feel. We're human. You're not alone. It's gonna be okay. So what have I done so far? Well, I've done Pledge for Kindness Day. I made the UR poster here in Building C. I put up the picture frames in the restrooms. I also put the banners in the restrooms. I started the Express Yourself collection of art, and I also taught a few lessons. So for Pledge for Kindness Day, I partnered up with Yoshi, and we had students wear name tags. This name tag said, "Hello, my name is," and instead of saying like your actual name, we had things like, "I'm intelligent," "I'm beautiful," "I'm caring," "I'm smart." So we wanted to do that because we wanted to switch out the negative words that you might think about yourself or things that you couldn't think about yourself, and use positivity. We also had held circles. We send a few questions to the advisors, and we put Ms. McIver's and Ms. Kino's advisory together, and we asked, how have you ever been a bully by yourself? Because Pledge for Kindness Day was trying to stop bullying and trying to help, try to prevent bullying. And we also talked about how could someone help you in that moment? What could you have done? It's because some people handle things differently. So we want to teach students, instead of maybe you reacted in a negative way, you could have done it something in a different way. We also talked about how were you a bully to yourself, because bullying and being rude to others, being rude, it's not only you being mean to your best friend or being mean to a stranger. It's also how you perceive yourself and how you treat yourself. And we also talked about how can you reduce the damage of bullying? What can you do? How can you spread the word? So here's a few pictures. That's the pictures of the name tags, and that's a picture of when we held the circle in Miss Kino's room. I was really proud of the two advisories that when we asked, I had a fear of them not wanting to share, because this is sensitive and no one really wants to talk about things that happen to them. And I had students who volunteered and shared their stories, and I thank them for that because you helped me one step closer to my project, and you also kind of got something off your chest and you showed other students that you're not alone. So the You Are poster, once again, I was partnered with Yoshi, and we believed if you see something over and over again or something positive, it will become true, like the things that you might say to yourself. You know, like for example, if you say to yourself like, or another person's like, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. Sooner or later, you start believing it, and we wanted to change that and kind of use it as a positive. And it's also important to say positive things about yourself. And we wanted, that reminder for you every day. And so we also use the poster to have, that reminder, but also to give you some words. Because I know it's hard to think of things positive about yourself. Okay, so the pictures in the restrooms. Ms. Barrett provided them for me, and I believed, we believe the pictures can provide motivation because they have inspiring quotes. They can provide some confident boosts, and it can promote positivity. Also, it would give a nice color, also replace the blank walls in the bathrooms. So this is one of the banners I created. I hand painted them, and it has a kind of meditation quote thing for you to have. So instead of having something simple or repetitive like "you are beautiful," like it's good to have that there, but sometimes it can be contradicting because sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. So in having this quote saying look at yourself as a person, then saying you're beautiful can also help. I also created one for the male's restroom. Okay, so Express Yourself collection. So I used this contest to collect artwork to create a collage in the bathroom stalls. We had, the beginning of the semester, we had all the conversations with Ms. Parrish saying there's a bunch of graffiti, there's, disrespectful words. And I was kind of tired of it too, because, what are we showing, other students, or what are we showing kids? We're just creating this negative space, and it's not the best. So I started it a week before winter break ended. I started, and it ended in January 31st. During those years, after we came back from winter break, I noticed there wasn't much collections. Like my folder was dry. It was drier than my DMs. Like it was impossible to get submissions. I'm not gonna lie. And so I thought of a few ideas. And, first I talked to the English teachers and Ms. Chapman to provide extra credit with that. I had a few submissions, but I had another idea. I taught some lessons. So in Ms. Chapman's class, I talked to them and told them that being an artist doesn't mean you have to be like the next Picasso or Van Gogh. Being an artist is, using art to express yourself and doing things that you're passionate about. And, I explained about like splat art. Like it's just splat. It's just art that's splattered on the canvas. That's art. People buy it. People enjoy it. And what we did was activity. I had them close their eyes, and I had them recognize how they felt at that moment. And I didn't want them to say like, oh, what you're feeling at the moment is a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, this is how I feel. I'm just going to be okay with it. And after that, I had them pick a color. We had chalks in the middle of the table. And they closed their eyes again for 1 minute, and they just freely drawed. And they did whatever they wanted. And then I had them switch out colors, and we did that again. They picked a different color, and they freely drawed. And after that, we kind of did something cool, and we used a liquid cornstarch to make it look like a watercolor. And after that, they could have added more colors, words, things that define them, things that they're passionate about to the pictures. So here's a few pictures. These are the turnouts of a few of the drawings, and these are the students, participating. Okay, Miss Kino's class. So I taught her her ninth grade health, and we watched a TED Talk. It was a woman named Lizzie, and she had a disorder that prevented her to gain weight. So she was describing her story and how, as growing up, she was bullied a lot because she was incredibly thin and she couldn't wear the certain clothes that other students had, or she was weird looking. She was sharing a story that in middle school someone recorded her and posted it on YouTube, and the title was "The Ugliest Woman in the World." And in the comments section below, they're like, "You should kill yourself. How can you let yourself be this thin? Are you anorexic? Do you have eating disorder?" And she went into this deep depression, but she turned it around. She's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm thin, and yeah, I might not look like other women, but it's not. That's not the only thing that defines me. The thing that defines me is that I'm intelligent. I'm a person. I'm sassy. I'm funny." And that's what I kind of want to teach health kids. That there are going to be some things that you don't like about yourself. And it could be about your appearance or it could be your characteristics. But that's not all you. Like, you have friends, you have family members that love and adore you because you have traits that they love and adore. And what I also had them do, I had them create a list of dislikes of character traits and likes. And with the dislikes, I had them couple it up. It was trying to be like a symbol, it's far past me. And with the likes, we made like a little accordion person, and the person had a face and arms, but it was a black silhouette because I didn't want them to pay attention to their appearance, because at that moment, your appearance isn't what defines you. Your characteristics and what makes you a person defines you. So here's the video and the class. What I've learned with this project, I learned loving yourself is different for every person. Because, I've had friends, or like my mother, she's told me stories how like I told her like every day you're beautiful and I love you to the day I die. And she says like with, you telling me every day I'm beautiful helped me, because at a moment in her life she wasn't she didn't feel the best about herself. And my story is different from hers. I learned, by growing up as a person, maturing, and knowing that I'm human and it's okay. That's how I learned how to love myself. And self-acceptance is not just your outer appearance. It's also how you see mentally, and how also taking care of yourself. When it comes to negative body image or body dysphoria, you have to try to talk to someone. You might have someone or a therapist, or if you want to lose weight or if you want to gain weight, you have to do it in a healthy way instead of resorting to an eating disorder, or you have struggles and you need a coping mechanism. You try not to resort to cutting or hurting yourself in any other way. And also, self-acceptance is knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And my main focus is, you're not alone. I just wanted to say really quick, thank you to Ms. Kino. You've been my advisor for 4 years, and you've pushed me, and you're like a second mom to me. And my parents, thank you for helping me and even though I can be a pain in the butt, and my Vasuda squad, thank you. So before I leave, I have one more poem for you guys. I once was running from all that haunted me, but I grew tired of hiding, tired of the pain, tired of feeling of not enough. We judge others and ourselves, and we try to blame society for our corrupt minds, but we are society. We try to measure our self-worth. Sometimes we use a scale rather than our minds, but we're only human. I'm a brown-eyed, black-haired, proud Mexican woman, but I'm more than that. I'm clumsy, I'm petty, I'm a daughter, and I'm a best friend. I am more than I give myself credit for. I am beautiful inside and out. And what I do is my choice. My body is my body. I feel good in my skin. I am satisfied with who I am, and I put myself back together again. No matter who tries to put me down, because I know I have someone there for me. As time goes by, I shed my skin. I shed the pain and scars. I'm no longer that flower that was dying. Thank you.
Yeah!